Hi, Amanda Mackinnell, and I'm going to start with turning to the words of John Lennon, who said, "Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans." And at no time in history has our plans been shaken as much as in the last 3 to 4 years. Resilience has been the watchword of 2020s. However, I'm going to pose that resilience is no longer enough. Now, we're facing pandemics, we're facing conflict in the Ukrainian region, which is not going away and is actually consuming stores as well as munitions, which is an area directly related to my paradigm, at a rate which is, to use that other word, unprecedented. There was an ABC interview on Monday morning where they said they'll be requiring 330,000 155mm shells to continue the war in Ukraine, and that's what's in the bottom right-hand corner, those brown shapes. We cannot, in Australia, equip and train our Defence Force unless we change the way our supply chains are providing those critical munitions. So this is very timely for my research, which is to look at how can we transcend mere resilience. There are some examples from Professor Sheffy, who talks about the disruption profile, but he doesn't talk about what happens when concussive effects of a pandemic and groundings and earthquakes occur at once. So we look at the demands on the Australian Defence Force to be ready to fight in a warlike situation, as well as to respond. Nobody would have predicted that we'd have had Australian troops on the New South Wales-Victorian border. We also have to respond in times of geoclimactic events, and that's occurring in Vanuatu again. Our defence industry supply chains must be able to continue to sustain the critical equipment as well as produce it into the future. And how we can do that in a way that will best support our industry and our people and our way of life, again, requires that new thinking. And I turn to that idea of anti-fragility and eustress, that we wish to do more than just survive. We want to thrive in times of disorder. And the anti-fragile teaches us that we embrace the disruption and look for those opportunities to do better. So drawing upon established supply chain theory, and I particularly look at resource dependency theory as to why businesses get involved in military supply chains, as well as the institutional theory where we look for that standardization to deliver an expected capability. But I wish to explore using exploratory principles, and given that I'm pragmatic, a member of this industry, take the approach through a Delphi method and conduct research in my paradigm. I've divided the supply chains up into 5 tiers, from the policymakers right through the production line, and I'll be conducting panel interviews and research to find out